Hey everybody, welcome back to the video or the stream if you're watching live. Today we're going to keep going over the Overrated Coaches series. We just watched the Rams and Cardinals game last night, so I figured I would do Sean McVay since I just did Cliff Kingsbury a couple episodes ago. So starting off, we'll talk about some cool facts. Sean McVay was the youngest head coach in modern NFL history, hired at 30. He is also the youngest head coach to qualify for the postseason playoff, win in a playoff game, appear in the Super Bowl, and the youngest to be the AP Coach of the Year in the NFL. But let's talk about McVay and his success. He's been very successful. I think his overall record is like 60-30, so he wins like 66% of the time, 67%, something around there. He was only an assistant coach for 9 years before he got his head coaching opportunity. He worked for the Bucks for a year, and then Florida Tuskers for a year, and then the Redskins from 2010 to 2016, and then he got his head coaching job as the Rams head coach because of his offensive success as the OC over there. He's also had an effect on how current coaches are hired. We've had a couple of his assistants that are older than him but still younger coaches get opportunities, like the Chargers head coach or LaFleur over at Green Bay. We even have the general manager in Detroit now was under his executive/coaching tree. And then even like Cliff Kingsbury that we talked about a couple episodes ago was hired to the Cardinals just because of his offensive success, even though his team as a whole at Texas Tech was a very underperforming team. So he's had a big effect on the NFL in a sense of his offensive success and maybe his whole coaching success, but none of these coaches have won anything since then. We have, going into his coaching career, he, in his first season in 2017, he went 11-5. He won the NFC West, which is one of the hardest divisions because of the Cardinals, the 49ers, and the Seahawks. Sorry, I just blinked for a second. All of those teams are very successful. But he then lost in the wild card round immediately to the Falcons, who I think made it to the Super Bowl that year. And then in 2018, he went 13-3, so won 2 more games. Was also first in the NFC West again. He won 2 games, made it to the Super Bowl, and then lost to the Patriots. It's hard to beat Tom Brady in the postseason, so I'll give him that. But he also had one of the best running back season performances of all time, and having Todd Gurley before this arthritis issue in his knee. The dude won Offensive Player of the Year. He was in MVP talks. He was an all-around just amazing player. He also had Aaron Donald, who may very well end up being the most dominant defensive player of all time. So he's a product of his players, I want to say, as opposed to his coaching. He's just, you run the ball with a prime Todd Gurley, you're going to get 5 yards a carry. It's not hard to call plays for that. And then going into 2020, he went 10-6. 2019, he went 9-7. He missed the playoffs. 2020 made it back a second in the NFC West, so he's gone downhill from there. Won the wild card game, and then lost to the Packers in the divisional game. And then this year he went 12-5, so finally got back up there because he had a competent quarterback. Matthew Stafford is incredible. He's been doing all of these things that Mahomes has been doing. That's all over ESPN, like these no-look passes and stuff. Before Mahomes did, before they were popular. Him and Aaron Rodgers kind of pioneered that way. Just the strong arm quarterbacks that can do all these crazy things. But being in Detroit, you don't get too much notice, and also being overshadowed by Aaron Rodgers and the other quarterbacks in your division. But thinking about Matthew Stafford, he has had 2 receivers lead the NFL in receiving. Now he had Calvin Johnson when he was in Detroit at one point, and then he had Cooper Kupp this season because of the 17 games. Almost broke the receiving record. I think he was like 18 yards short or something crazy. But we can talk about Cooper Kupp's success in McVay's offense. He's had him running essentially as a tight end position, so he gets a mismatch with a linebacker a lot of the time when he is going out for routes and stuff. It just helps out the matchup that he's having, and that's why he's had so much success. So McVay does have a great offensive mind, but he's underperformed with the talent that he's had. He definitely should fit better as an offensive coordinator like he did it in Washington, and I don't know. He's doing great, but I don't think it's enough to win a Super Bowl. If they don't win it this year, they probably won't win it because Stafford's on the decline. Odell Beckham's finally showing up. Cup's almost 30. I want to say he's probably maybe he's older than that. I'm not sure. He's on the backside of his prime at least. So all of your best players are declining. Cam Akers is the highlight of your offense, and we're not sure. He looked good in the game last night, but I don't know. I'm just not sure because of that Achilles injury. He came back so quick. But that's all I have to say on Sean McVay. I think he would be a really great offensive coordinator, but I'm not sure he's ever going to win a Super Bowl as a head coach. Although there are a lot of head coaches that never win it. So there's nothing wrong with that.